God, my lines to break down, cause I've been the rules. I spit so much crack, a fiend broke down my rock and smoked the minerals.
Maybe he survived. Why the information classified? I pulled him to his crib, told his wife and kids get back inside. Shot him by the doorway, and nigga fell back inside.
Close this shit! Close this shit!
Purchase your ticket to be in the building or catch it live on pay-per-view stream.
And before we get to real deal, real quick, what's your thoughts about this rehearsing stuff? And before you answer that, can you clarify once and for all, did Daylyt and Ooops write their third rounds together?
All right, for the 1,737 time. No, absolutely not. And if I can I elaborate on that?
Go ahead.
So ARP flies us. First off, Adam calls us and say, hey, he link us together. I'm like, hey, it's this writer's block, but this is my biggest battle ever. I call Daylyt, hey, are you serious? Don't get up, because if people don't remember at that time, Daylyt was on some bullshit. He was on constant bullshit. So everybody telling me he ain't gonna take you serious. He gonna do this on stage. And I'm like, hey, I love him. That's my brother. But if he pull any funny shit on stage, we gonna get our views one way or another. And so I did call him. I said, hey, Day, you serious? He like, yeah. And I was like, all right, bet, let's roll. He's like, let me hear something. I'm like, no, you let me hear something. I need to know you serious. He rapped 4 bars of his first round. I said, okay, bet. I hung up on him. I ain't even rap. I ain't even let him hear none of my shit. He called me back. He's like, let me hear something. I know where you going in your third. I said, nigga, you don't know. We're literally arguing on the phone. I said, bet. I start rapping. Now I rap a third round. Now everybody who had heard my third round knew I was rapping. Like I didn't want to do a heavy third round. I wanted to show.
Oh, you had a different joint.
I had a whole different third round.
See, this is my first time even hearing this, I think.
Oh, and look, if you go back, Daylyt talk about it, and we talk about like a bunch of different interviews, right? And so I'm literally rapping. I'm talking about name flips, crazy, big gun so big, Daylyt, lunar eclipse. I can't even remember the bar, but it was crazy what I had. But I was rapping. He's like, oh, we gonna have a goodie. Bet. All I literally heard was 4 bars of his first round. So you fly us in. Remember, his flight gets there early. Daylyt ends up staying in my hotel before his room got ready. Now, in my hotel, I got 2 rooms, 2 bathrooms, a big joint. Daylyt in one bathroom. I'm in the other one. We literally whisper. I can't hear nothing he's saying. He can't hear nothing I'm saying. We whispering our bars. He like, hey, you want to go get something to eat? Bet. We walking down the street. We walking on 2 separate ends of the street, going over our bars. A cat stop us at the bodega on the corner, like, hey, Day, what you gonna do to Ooops today? He started talking shit. Then he looked across the street, was like, nigga, there go Ooops right there. Like, y'all
didn't even walk next to each other down the street to get something to eat because y'all was still rehearsing.
Not even to get nothing to eat. We get to the venue. All the energy, our battle is the energy. That's what everybody waiting on. Now, if you would have told us when you announced this and you dropped that and Daylyt did the red pill, blue pill joint, that this was going to be one of the best battles in battle rap history, we would have got our ass laughed off any stage, any podcast, anything. Daylyt first round, he go rapping. He did rap his first 4. I'm like, oh shit, he bugging. In my head, all I got to do is get through my first round, and it's going to either be close or I'm going to edge it. I got through it. It was close. more people felt like he edged the first. Second he go, I go crazy. I win the second. Going into the third, I'm like, oh, I'm finna show the world I can rap. I'm finna literally out rap Daylyt. Daylyt goes left.
Oh, I think I do remember you saying this. You changed in the building on stage,
In,
right? Your third.
in the building.
I do remember hearing this part. Yeah, okay.
Daylyt goes crazy. And when Daylyt said, because even Urkel showed us, when a square randomly get a machine out of nowhere, he a cool nigga. And I turned around the big cannon and said, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that? And then I turned back around with a straight face. And he's still going. Pops at my door, it was never dead. Da-da. He rocking the room. But when he got to the Martin Luther King, I said, I got him. Bet. So he got done. And when you watch the battle, remember I went to the front of the stage, just like I'm standing right here. This is the third round right here. This background that y'all looking at. I go to the front of the stage and I do like this. And I'm like, fuck. And Ill Will screams to me, get it together.
That was Will?
Yeah, it was Ill Will.
Yeah, and you responded to it. Yeah.
And I said,
Will.
And I just started talking. I wasn't rapping. I said, I need to talk. I need to make this shit make sense. Only thing I need to do is find 2 words at the end to make it rhyme. Everything I can say in before that, cool. I'm just gonna talk. I'm just gonna talk from the heart. I'm just gonna say what's on my mind.
Crazy.
Dead middle of the battle. That morning, my ex-wife, she was there. I asked her. I said, "Man, I had this dream." And I explained her the dream. I'm like, "I want to put it in my round." She was like, "Nah, hell nah. You don't. You gonna get the choking and shit." Like, nah.
Last minute.
And I was like, you know what? I bet. And so I got up there with all intentions of rapping my round. And something told me just, man, do something different. Because if I rap that, they just gonna remember, oh, Daylyt went crazy. Like his shit was deep, and he, talked to. That's what I'm trying to do. Because if people don't remember, this was my second. This was like my third actual round like that. My third round being like that. So I'm like, nah, this is what I'm trying to bet. We finna do it this way. And I just started talking. And when I got to the ill part, going crazy on stage, not really saying nothing, that shit was so ill. And I wasn't even talking about young ill. Ill was the word that popped up in my head that rhymed. But when everybody caught on to it, I'm like, fuck.
It made too much sense because of the old red shit.
Yeah, which you was there, which I saw you. I was there in St. Louis with you on that stage. But at the end of the day, I put that together and I end up coming back and retracting that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think a couple years later, because I never wanted people to, especially when I started dealing with mental health shit, I never wanted people to, contract those too. So I wanted to make sure people understood where I was coming from. But yeah, that round wasn't written. Talking about we ain't write it together. That round wasn't even written.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, I did see people say that y'all message was so impactful combined that it had to be done together. I've seen that over the years. I remember one time DNA said that sarcastically, like in an interview. I always remember some of our greats like looking at it because it was just that impactful. It was just that crazy that people had to ask, like, you guys plan this, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but it's
nobody
crazy
could accept it.
They don't. If you go back and watch me and XL, me versus XL is one of my favorite battles.
His third and your third is on that one too.
I honestly feel that our thirds were, I think because me and Daylyt, like, it was the first, like, kind of, you know what I'm saying, same subject, like, they really, you know what I'm saying, like, it was damn near like we wrote for each other, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, we wrote pre-buttles, basically. That's what it seemed like. And with XL, man, I always tell people, like, shit, I debate back and forth between the best thirds between me and XL and me and Daylyt, because we went the same route, but it was just way more put together, of course, because I wasn't freestyling on this one. But somebody asked me in the building, rest in peace, Past Day.
Rest in peace, Past Day.
Past Day asked me in the building, he said, y'all wrote that together. I said, no, bro, we ain't even talked to each other. He said, oh, no, that's fucking amazing then. Because if you watch the battle, you see Pat in the back going, him and Sharon, they back there going crazy while we going.
Another
But
thing
that,
that
yeah.
people don't know is and RBE developed a reputation early on about welcoming that type of style of battle rap. Because remember, there was a point where people started to argue and debate, do battle rap rounds need to be direct to win? We were advocates of they don't have to be. You and Daylyt going viral, World Star, all the websites, all the view, all that type of shit, is what really, really stamped it. But
Mm-hmm.
people don't know historically it happened also on the card before as far as those type of rounds. It happened with you and Mr. Mills.
Mm-hmm.
You went the route talking about your health.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you said earlier, you was like, I'm the first person that made ARP react at a time where as a league owner, he said, I need to be neutral and not react to bars. That was my early league owner trying to learn how to present the platform fairly. But in that battle, I damn near walked off the stage. And then
Mm-hmm.
Mills did it about Math and Disaster having a fight, kind of talking to the culture like, you know, we all advocate all this shit. We all want to see this shit until somebody die. Like his message was strong too. So
Mm-hmm.
y'all did it on the card before that. You know what I'm saying? But it was just a smaller view battle. It didn't
Mm-hmm.
go viral or nothing like that. It's still there to this day for people to go see the history.
Mm-hmm.
But
And I did it on the because the first time I did it where it caught on was verse O Red.
oh yeah. Yo, let me say this too, man. Yo, we got so much dope history, man. We got so much dope history in this thing that we call Rare Breed Entertainment. Another fun fact for people, since we telling people all these things that y'all don't know behind the scenes. The third round of Oops, right? He asked whether it was me and the production crew and the DJ booth or whatever that controls the lights. In my third round, cut the lights off. Right? He was like, because whatever you had going on, I didn't know what the fuck he was up to, but lights get cut off. You rapping. Classic round. We know how that battle goes. Could be our first RBE classic battle. It might be.
Might be.
It might be the first true RBE classic. But anyway, so we get through the battle, classic. We go to the production table. We start to edit the footage and realize like, oh shit, we have no visuals. The cameras is all dead and fucked up because we cut the fucking lights off and this motherfucker's up there rapping. What are we going to do? And it just so happens that at that time, the St. Louis riots were happening. And we were just like, he's St. Louis, the riots, what he's talking about. But put that footage in. And it just worked out perfectly. And people thought that that was even like the thought going in, like, are we catering to Oops? Are we trying to help his message get driven home that much in the middle of a battle? Like, no, he asked for the lights to get cut out. And then when we started to edit the battle, he was like, oh shit, we have no footage because it's dark. Like, fuck, what are we gonna do? We had to put a visual there.
So let me add a caveat. Let me add a caveat. So I told you what I was gonna do. I said, hey, I need the lights off. I told the production team, I said, hey, because I came in there early and remember the lights that were up there. They had like the little spotlights on the stage of drum that hung
the color ones,
the color ones, and then they had one big bright yellow one. Yeah. I said, hey, when y'all cut the lights off, cut that one light on. And when the light cut off, everybody like, hey, what's going on? You know, I was like, hold on. You know, get everybody calm. And so that one like awkward silence where the light didn't come on, I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start rapping. And so I just kept rapping. And when I seen the footage, I don't know if I ever said this before. When y'all showed me the footage, because you hit me, was like, hey, we're gonna do something. This is what we gonna do. You know, you wanted to make sure that it was cool because of everything that I was going through. Because, you know, a lot of people didn't know at the time. You knew. But I was literally battle rapping and protesting and pepper spray, tear gas, you know, tussling with police, all of this during the height of my battle rap career at the time. Yeah, and so
you got beat up and all types of shit, right? Then you have the bloodied up pictures and all that type of shit going on.
Yeah. And it was like when y'all did that, I said, oh, when I seen that, I said, this finna change the mold. And after that, everybody was like, oh, you can't You can't be up there just talking and preaching in your third round. We don't want to hear that shit. I constantly got that, even after the Daylyt battle. But RBE was a place where I stayed the course and I was able to do, and I did. Even the couple battles where I fucked up a little bit, I always had a crazy third round. Like you knew that's what you were gonna get, to the point where now I remember Goods and Clips was there at the O-Red battle. And they came to St. Louis months later. And I was like talking shit to both of them. And they like, we are not battling you, dog. We would never battle you. Nigga, you turn lights off in the middle of your round. Like, nah, you can't compete with
I
that type of
literally got predictions from other battlers on the card this Saturday, and everybody mentions your third round. I forget who it was. It might have been Show Off, but it's like when niggas is really trying to scale you in Real Deal, they're like, all right, so Oops normally comes out strong. I think it was Show Off. He said comes out strong, so I'm not sure about the first. The second he tapers down, the third you got to give him. I think he did a prediction like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's part of your reputation, but yeah, man, you got some classic moments, not just on RBE and battle rap period, and people look forward to your third rounds. And I don't think that you should ever feel the need to conform unless it's a personal goal of yours. If you feel like all 3 rounds, I just want to get on my rapidy rap and just remind everybody what my pen does and why I used to be writer's block, then do that. But you know, if it's not broken, don't fix it, because your third round impacts, you know, gave you the reputation that you have. It cemented you in battle rap history. So I think even this Saturday, we're looking forward to seeing what happens.